So Donald Trump has won the election. We've all seen it a few weeks ago, and the world is going crazy, especially the left wing of this crazy bird. And so you have people now who, just like when he first got in office, his first term, are saying they're going to move out of the country, move to Canada, Mexico, cross the seas, move to Africa, this, that, and the third. Well, black folks are no different. Everyone's talking, well, not everyone, talking about moving out of the country. So I want to get a take on exactly why they're moving and where they're going. So we're going to look at this story here out of Houston. Let's get into it.
Many people have said they were going to move out of America after the presidential election, and some celebrities are doing exactly that. The latest, Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi.
Now, they say Ellen, now she's trying to say she's leaving because of Trump, but it might be the straw that broke the camel's back. But they say she's going through all kind of Diddy party type stuff, and her career is pretty much over in this country because of all the scandals and the stuff that has came out. So they say that's why she's really moving, and that she's just using Trump as a scapegoat.
The couple is reportedly moving to England while selling their California estate. But it's not just celebrities. Some Black Americans say they're also considering leaving the USA. My next guests, Jasmine Terry and Dave Jordan, are on the topic tonight.
So, Jasmine, it just so happens you just got your citizenship in Ghana.
Yes, I actually did. I just got my citizenship yesterday, so I'm extremely excited. It's a full circle moment. Met the president of Ghana, 7 years old, at Turner Elementary. President Jerry Rawlings. 30 years later, fast forward, I entered the continent, and exactly what he told me.
Here's what I need y'all to understand about getting a citizenship in Ghana. They had that year of the return a couple of years back, and everybody was so gung ho on going. But unless you're going there to help build a community, like you pretty much should be doing here in your own country. I mean, but hey, I ain't knocking people want to go to Africa. Hell, I want to visit, and I do want to visit. And if I visit and I like what I see and stuff like that, I may just try to give me some citizenship there myself. But with that being said, when it comes to going to a different country, if you're not bringing anything to stimulate the economy, don't think that you'll be able to get a dual citizenship over there. It's like the people that come over here, which you don't understand the whole migrant issue and why they let so many migrants come into this country just, unscathed, because they're supposed people that come over here the legal way, the right way, they're supposed to bring a benefit to the American economy. That's the whole point of them coming over here. If you can't do that, if you can't come over here, get education, learn, get a career, pay to the government, pay to the economy, then what's the use of having you here? But again, so that's all I want to say about that.
Then is what I experienced, and I fell in love with it and began on my journey for citizenship.
Now, because you have citizenship there, doesn't necessarily mean you're leaving America, right?
No, I'm not leaving America, actually. So I want to say this. It's dual citizenship, so it's both. I think before anywhere on the continent, Black I'm sorry, the continent of Africa is the inheritance of the diaspora of Black Americans before it's Chinese, European, and anyone else. And I think someone needs to come and be a bridge and welcome us over. And I believe that it's the time is now. So I'm not running away.
And I think it's smart if you can get dual citizenship somewhere. That is smart, because if something happens in the country that you're in, and let's just be honest right now, the way things are going at the end of Biden's term, that there is belief that there's a World War III is happening. We're like in the middle, we're at the beginning of a World War III, and we just don't see it. America is still on the fiat system. And eventually, if you look at every uh, empire in the past that was based on a fiat system, and that's a monetary system that has nothing that backs it except your word. unlike other countries or the U.S. back in the day when the monetary system was backed by gold, but now it's not backed by anything. That system will eventually crumble. And if you look at the value of a dollar bill, I think every year the value of the dollar depreciates by anywhere from 3 to 7%. Matter of fact, let's just want you to do an experiment. Come January 1st, take this dollar bill, take a dollar bill, put it in the frame, put it on your wall, and write down, Google ChatGTP. Oh, you can do it now. Take a dollar bill, put it on your wall, Google ChatGTP. What can $1 buy me? What can I buy for $1 in the United States? And write that list down. And then this time next year, look at them same items and see how much they cost. I guarantee you the price of those items will go up somehow. I mean, by some, whether it's just pennies, it will go up. So, like I say, every year your dollar is not worth what it was worth last year. But anyway, every system, every form of government, every system that has lived on that fiat system has crumbled and crashed. So that's going to happen eventually. Uh, Gold, cryptocurrency is going to be the next big thing right now. So those are two things you want to use that to kind of like just hedge your money, just to make sure that your money keeps its value as time goes on instead of losing value. You see what I'm saying? Not to necessarily get rich. I mean, if you get rich off of it, that's great, but not necessarily get rich, but just to keep, like I say, the value of your monetary value at the same, if not around about the same. But anyway, like I say, so when you see things like that happening and things about to crumble or go down, and you need an escape, shoot, what I'm saying? Hey, go somewhere where you welcome. Go somewhere where you got a citizenship. It can't stop you from going there.
From America. I love being a Black American. I love the fact of the history that my family has implemented, not only in Houston, but on the land in America in general. America is ours, but we also need to bridge the gap at this point.
Now, Dave, your sister has a different take on this. She is considering leaving this country as a result of President-elect Donald Trump.
She is indeed. I was talking to her. I got a call from her the Sunday after the election, and she told me that she was leaving to go to Barbados that Saturday. Our father is from Barbados. My mother is from Aruba, and I'm a Caribbean American. I was born and raised in New York, as was she. And she started this process back in April. And my dad gave her his birth certificate. She went down there, she started the process, and she flew out last week, Saturday, to complete the process. So I expect to talk to her a little later in the week. But just what Jasmine said, this is dual citizenship, right? Mm-hmm. So she has the option, and I would, by extension, being her brother, if I pursued this path, to get that same citizenship and remain here or go back and forth. It's sort of, something, a card in your back pocket that you can play, and it's always good to look at other options, to see what life would be like in other areas. I have a friend in Portugal who is running a expat group in Portugal. Portugal's a country of 10 million people. 20,000 people who moved there are expats, and a large number of them are Black Americans who have started their own communities, who have embraced the country, and it's been sort of a trend for a lot of people to do the same thing.
Portugal, huh? Let me look into that. But yeah, what's sad that I've met people who have not even left their own town. I'm talking about there was a guy who has said that he hadn't even left the small town that he's from, and he's probably 20, 30 minutes from Dallas. So he'd never been to Dallas because, this is a grown man older than me, saying that he'd never been to Dallas because his mama always told him people in Dallas are crazy. You don't want to go there dealing with them folks. There are people who haven't even left their own city, let alone their own state, let alone traveled their own country, let alone traveled the world. And I have a problem with that. I really have a problem with that. I mean, I ain't saying travel all the time because, it costs money to travel. I get it. But everyone should at least go somewhere and see how other people are living, just to see, because it may be what you need. It may be where you want to go. It may be where you belong. You know, you may live somewhere else, live somewhere and just feel like, man, you got a place. This is not what, you know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing here. I mean, I can tell you, like, my parents, they're from, like, my dad, he's from Texas, but a little small town in Texas. My mom, she's from a little small town in Arkansas, Oklahoma area, but they moved to Dallas because there was nothing there. I mean, it really was nothing in the towns that they live in, that they grew up in. There was nothing there for them, you know, to do. So, you know, Dallas, it was a big city. Moved there. This is before Texas. I think Texas County trying to blow up now. But anyway, we're talking 40 some years ago, 50 years ago. But yeah, so I mean, you gotta be able, you got to move, get out, at least see other places besides where you're from.
And for those who may be concerned or wondering why so many Black Americans may be considering leaving this country, what kind of fear, if any, do they have when it comes to President-elect Trump?
You know, before we get into that, I wanted to see this. I saw this video because this video came across my feed, but then it's like right under that, this video here came across my feed, and I want y'all to see this and see what this brother is saying. This guy's from he's from Africa. I don't know who he is. I guess he's an entertainer or what have you. Let's say DeVito, and he talks about people who's moving to Africa. Let's listen to this.
The question was like, so for people want to leave America and like try to find those,
leave America and go where?
Back home.
Let's be honest. Go back where? It's not cool back home.
It's not.
Just, I mean, my country now is in the economy now is in shambles. Like,
but if okay, so if people are leaving,
I do my part.
Yeah,
I'm an ambassador. So when I go home and I'm filming and showing, I'm not gonna show the bad parts. I ain't gonna show all the bad
you're not gonna
parts
try to slum. You're not gonna show the trenches.
No, I go to the trenches.
Yeah.
I film the trenches, but I'm talking about the situation in the country.
Yeah.
Be Nigerians, you know what I'm saying? Like now the exchange rate is messed up. The a lot of stuff not going well. You know what I'm saying? The economy is just not good anymore. The oil prices are too high. And imagine a country that produces oil. We produce the oil and we pay more money for oil than a country that's importing the oil.
You know, that right what he's talking about, I think this was something that a lot of Americans are afraid of, like Trump talking about drilling more oil in America because we have so much, we got more oil in reserves than a lot of countries that we get oil from. And don't know why, don't know about the politics, the red tape, but he's saying for some reason in Nigeria they make oil, but for some reason they're making. But then again, if you think about how they do these African countries with the oil and all these minerals, they don't have like the refineries and stuff. It's like they got the oil, but the white folks make the refineries and charge these African countries money to refine their own oil, kind of probably like Venezuela and stuff. They charge these countries to refine their oil and then sell it back to them. And they wonder why they pay so much.
You know what I'm saying? So there's stuff like that. But regardless, entertainment is one of the things that's made Africa look good.
Yeah.
We do not have the best leaders. That's a fact.
But my original question was like,
so that's how I want you to see. So basically, if you try to, let's say, talking about going out the country, do your research. Trying to go outside your city. Do the research into where you're going. See about the economy, the schools, the taxes, the wages, things like that, the crime rate. Look at that before you know what I'm saying, venture off and go anywhere.
The ones that the thing that go on, Jasmine, ladies first.
Oh, thank you. I would say this. I am not about the fear tactic, to be honest. I don't think we should look at this as a fear space. I think we should look at it as an opportunity to bridge the gap in our communities, to pull together, put our funding together, focus on our community and our community only. Because what we are as Black Americans, as diasporans, we are resilient beings. So I don't look at this as something we should be fearful of. I think it's time that is in our face, and we need to move forward, push the culture forward by actually coming together as Black Americans and doing what we need to do for us. Not looking for anyone to take care of anything for us, not looking for someone to come and save and to help us. This is a time that we should only independently focus on ourselves. That's education, health, and wellness. loving on our own. And that's honestly the focus. So I'm not fearful at all. I think this is an opportunity that's really going to be beautiful.
And you know something you got to think about too, what people are the most afraid of. And I say like people in government or maybe people who want to keep, Black Americans down. The thing that they fear the most when it comes to us is if we have options. If they could keep us uneducated, keep us, on the Democrat side, not thinking about Democrats, Republicans, Independent, or just no, forget not thinking about parties, just thinking about um, using the freedom of thinking to think on your own and say, that might not be a good idea. Democrat, that might not be a good idea. Republican, they might not be a good candidate, Democrat or Republican. Let me see what the policy is. And then your Democrats are like fear. And then what happened, Kamala Harris lost. And so now they all just severely butthurt. But if a Black person is educated and you have options to not just have a job, let's say in healthcare, lower jobs in healthcare, like patient care tech or CNAs. If you can, get educated or learn, if you can learn a trade. Let's say you learn a trade. Let's say go to nursing school. Say go to nursing school. You go from a patient care tech, then go to nursing school and become a nurse. Now you got options. Now you can go wherever you want to and get jobs and work wherever. So you as an individual, they can't control you really. You just move around because hey, it ain't working here. I could just move around. If they feel that you have to be there, then they can do what they want to and use you like they want to. Like I say, if you get educated and get degrees to learn trades to where you can make your own money, you're not worried about what they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Free thinking, like I say, politically. For policy, you make money because think about this: you make money voting wise. You should think differently because you're thinking about money in your pocket and your taxes and where they're going. And then if you got a family, you're thinking about, okay, I want to put my kids in certain schools. So if the schools that y'all want us to go to ain't working, then I just may put my kid in a private school or may move to a different district or I may homeschool them. If you say, hey, they thinking, you live in a certain area, then you're like, I don't like it here. I think I can move somewhere else, get away from here. Forget this. Y'all can have this. When they feel like I said they can't control you, people have problems. People are in fear because if they can't control you, then who they gonna control? So just think if you in this country and then they say, because it's funny, like back in the day, I remember the old Public Enemy albums when they had a guy say, go back to Africa, and they used to laugh. And that was a big thing back when Black folks were complaining about stuff, legitimate things. We still are, because it's still legitimate. And they would say, go back to Africa. Well, if you go back to Africa, let's say you catch a plane and go over there and visit, then you say, I want to do a citizenship in Africa or Barbados or whatever, the Caribbean islands. Then they don't say it as much now because they really realize they don't want you to leave right now. They don't, because because they're afraid of where the country is going. And if they ain't got Black folks to fall back on to take the brunt of the force, who gonna do it? Is that why they let the migrants in? But if they ain't got the migrants and the Black folks say, I'm back, because you see how when everything was going on overseas, them wars of Israel and stuff like that, and Black folks weren't saying nothing, you see how all these big wig Hollywood people were coming at Black folks like, why I ain't saying nothing? Y'all should be saying something too. Y'all are not acting right. Why y'all treating us like this? We're like, wait a minute. We say something all the time, but every time it's for us and we need help and somebody say something, ain't nobody got nothing to say. So you know what? What they said, you can hold your own bag with this one. You can hold you deal with that one on your own because we got our own problems to deal with. Then they got mad at us. So yeah, when Black folks say, we're not dealing with the status quo, then you got options, man, they do not know how to act.
And Dave, the last 30 seconds, what do you think people or Black people in particular are afraid of when it comes to President-elect Trump?
The main thing that I'm hearing is the police immunity. We saw the racial reckoning 2 years ago with George Floyd, or 3 years ago, I should say, time is flying, and how a lot of communities were pushing for consent agreements and things of that nature. And Trump has said that he wants to give police open and blanket immunity. So that's the main concern a lot of people have. But just a lot of communities were pushing for consent agreements and things of that nature. And Trump has said that he wants to give police open and blanket immunity. So
here go another false narrative about this open and blanket immunity. I did a video on that and I broke it down and I explained it to you. It's not that they have immunity to come out here and kill Black folk. What it is, it frees them up or frees up civil lawsuits. Like you got this one lady, former cop, who like killed Bolton John, walked into his apartment and shot him. Then claimed that she don't know how she got into that apartment. It's probably a lot to that story, more to that story than what's been put out. It's quite possible they had some kind of relationship. Who knows? And she got pissed off. Who knows? But anyway, I'm not gonna do that. Put that out there. Well, I just did, but act like I didn't. Strike that from the record, okay, jury. But I can't. What's her name? Amy Geiger, something like that. But anyway, she got sued civilly by the family, and they got awarded like 90 something $million, knowing damn well that woman ain't got $90 million. She in prison right now. Where's she gonna get it? So that's just like a nothing burger. That's like non-tangible bull crap symbolism. Like, yay, they sued her and she got 90 something $million. Well, see, that's ridiculous. Even I say that's ridiculous. I mean, there's no way of knowing that he would have made that much money in his life, first of all. So I get it on that, but that's basically what it was. But it's not going to make them immune from prosecution like her, like the dudes that killed George Floyd. That guy's in prison. So that's not what they talking about. Oh, you get free to just to kill anybody. That's not what the law says. Because Trump is talking about a law, and the law specifically says the definition of what that qualified immunity means.
That's the main concern a lot of people have. But just to
So they're scared of nothing.
Underscore what Jasmine said, people aren't running away, but they're just.
But what's funny is you have ancestors. We have ancestors who actually had, quote unquote, the original police back in the day, paddy wagons and men on horses with hoods on, rolling up to your house, dragging your boys and your men out, lynching them, burning crosses, burning down their houses, burning down their buildings, their businesses. You had that. Now that, if they can survive that and get through that, please best believe we'll get through this here.
Preparing this as an option, but this has really encouraged Black people to look inward and to focus on their own communities, their own well-being, their own struggle, and not sort of collaborate or coalesce around other issues that don't really include them at the end of the day.
Like the wars overseas.
All right, Dave and Jasmine, thank you for joining us. And Jasmine, we know it's pretty late there in Ghana, and congratulations on your dual citizenship.
Thank you. We'll see you when you get back to Houston. Everyone, come to Ghana.
I want to.
Now you're the ambassador.
All right, well, that's all I got for this video here. Hey, like I say, keep your options open, whether you get, if you can afford, hey, more than one house in America and different parts of the country, do it. If you can get dual citizenships in 2 different countries, multiple countries, shoot, do it. Always have options, to educate yourself, whether it's in school or outside of school. Educate yourself on a trade, educate yourself on stocks, on investments, on business, and going to other countries and being able to live there if anything happens. That way you ain't got to, like they say, you ain't got to rely on nobody else. You ain't got to worry about other people's problems. You deal with your stuff, you deal with the people, and that's how we grow. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation here. Hey, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us. If you would like to support, financially, you can get super thanks, super chats, super stickers, or you can go to the description box below. The links there where you can help support the channel. Don't forget to go to marlonmorale.com. It's marlonmorale.com where you get 10% off your first purchase of all our luxury items. You will not be disappointed. And if you want to get take advantage of our sale right now on our miniature beard kit. It has beard oil, beard balm, beard wash. Click on the shop button below. Regular retail $25, but there's a big sale going on now. It's sandalwood scented, and sandalwood is clinically proven to stimulate hair follicle growth. So if you're trying to grow that beard, trying to fill in patches or get that beard looking thick, why not use the best product on the market? And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.